I said all the pressure was on the Heat tonight. Now it flips. All the pressure is on the Celtics.
So you're thinking the Heat can bounce back from that gut punch?
I think if you got leaders like Eric Spoelstra, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and them other guys, Gabe Vincent just plays.
Now, as for which team has more pressure going into Monday night's basketball game, well, Chuck, who is a fantastic NBA analyst, as we all know, is like you and me, also very good at pointing out the obvious. Of course, Chuck, the home team is going to have the most pressure on it. We'll play that entire clip for you in just a little bit. There were some other good things that were said between Shaq and Chuck and Kenny and Ernie. So we've got that coming up. But next, we're going to get into the Eric Spoelstra clip. Let's roll that next.
And this is a one hell of a series. At this time right now, I don't know how we're going to get this done, but we're going to go up there and get it done. And that's what the next 48 hours is about. There's been nothing easy about this season for our group, and so we just have to do it the hard way. And that's just the way it's got to be, for our group. And we wish we could tip this thing off right now. Right now, we want to tip this thing off. Let's play another 48 minutes, but we'll wait 48 hours and do this thing in Boston.
As for Eric Spoelstra, let's just face it, he's as cool as a cucumber. I don't know if you've ever been in an escape room before, done that at all, where you get thrown in a room and then you've got to figure out a bunch of clues to get a key that will unlock the door so you can escape out of the room. If I ever end up in an escape room again, I absolutely want Eric Spoelstra on my team. Look, Spoelstra was so cool and calm and collective in tonight's post-game press conference. It was as if the Miami Heat actually won the game, which, of course, they did not. That being said, Jimmy Butler also oozed a lot of confidence tonight in his post-game press conference and also at the same time took some blame. I mean, quite frankly, Jimmy Buckets Butler had 24 points tonight in the game. And if you just look at the stat line, you'd say he had a good game. The reality is he didn't. He just, he scored, he did a good job, towards the end of the game, but he was sort of not there early enough in this game for this Miami Heat team to build any kind of lead or stay a little closer than they did. That being said, the real question now is, what do we see happening on Monday night? Now, when I look at this particular victory by the Boston Celtics, I can't help but think of that famous, that semi-famous movie, Escape from New York. The stars, Kurt Russell stars as a character named Snake Plissken. And Snake Plissken has to actually escape from New York. There was a horrific remake called Escape from, wait for it, LA. That being said, that is exactly what the Boston Celtics did tonight. They barely escaped. I mean, they had this game locked up and sewed away, and they allowed the Miami Heat to get back into it, and they were very lucky to pull this off. Don't want to take anything away, though, from what Derrick White did. So I think there's two things that can happen on Monday night. The first is a Miami Heat blowout, where it's just not even close in the fourth quarter. And the second thing is another game that goes down to the wire, a classic National Basketball Association Game 7, which is won in the last second by one of these two teams. What I don't think is going to happen is a Boston Celtics blowout. This Miami Heat team is too gritty to allow that to happen in a Game 7. All right. Thanks so much for tuning in. We're going to play the entire Charles Barkley, Kenny the Jet Smith, and Shaq and Ernie Johnson inside the NBA clip here. It's about a minute and a half, so enjoy that. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe to the House of Takes yet, please go ahead and do that and hit that big red subscribe button. To the inside the NBA guys we go.
But I'm saying all the pressure was on the Heat tonight.
Now you think you're also on the Celtics?
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Because let me tell you
Game
something.
7 pressure.
No. Because let me tell you something. If the Celtics lose Game 7 at home, all this, we making history, they're going to be like, yo, man, y'all didn't make no damn history. Y'all got to Game 7, and y'all did. So all the pressure right now goes back to the Celtics. It was the one, to me, I said it before, I said all the pressure was on the Heat tonight. Now it flips. All the pressure is on the Celtics.
So you're thinking the Heat can bounce back from that gut punch?
I think if you got leaders like Eric Spoelstra, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and them other guys, Gabe Vincent just plays.
Because that's a tough way to lose.
I know it's a tough way to lose.
Man.
Hey, let me tell you something. Kenny makes a great point. When Ray Allen hit that three against the Spurs, I says, ain't no way those guys going to have a chance in Game 7. But because the great Greg Popovich and those guys, that Game 7, people forget, it went down to the wire. I'm not saying the Heat are going to win. Of course, I'm going to pick the Celtics. I said that. I said, I don't think they got a chance of winning Game 7.